On one of my streams recently, Scott Adams died. Scott Adams was a cartoonist. He did Dilbert. He then did like a Dilbert Reborn comic after his syndication dropped him. He was a very famous cartoonist, and then he became a very famous political pundit because he correctly predicted very early on that Donald Trump would win in 2016. And then after Trump won, he started doing Coffee with Scott Adams, which would be like a 20-minute long video each morning where he had coffee, talked about the morning's news, and a lot of people like this. This is sort of like his grind, where he had his built-in audience and he talked about his life and his thoughts, and that's what he did for years. And there wasn't really much to talk about this. So when he dies, these people who had been having coffee with Scott Adams every morning suddenly were no longer having coffee with Scott Adams, leaving a particular niche to be filled. Sadly, you can't just resurrect somebody back from the dead and have them do their coffee shows in the morning based off headlines, right? Enter year of our Lord 2026, an AI Coffee with Scott Adams emerges on Twitter, causing a kerfuffle. Is it ethical to feed somebody's morning videos of drinking coffee into a computer program and then give it a list of prompts and have it generate a 20-minute long discussion in the likeness of a dead person? Let's find out, chat. I will click this, okay? Let's see.
Good morning, YouTube, and good morning, X. And welcome to your daily reset button. In a world that never stops scrolling, today we're hitting the brakes long enough to actually see what's moving underneath the headlines. That small act of deceleration alone puts us in rare company. No knee-jerk takes, no echo chamber autopilot, just intentional focus. Ha ha ha. Let's deliver the episode that rewards people who actually show up for it. And this one's shaping up nicely.
Actually, I have a question. Somebody says, here, let me find this on my dashboard so I can put it up. Oh, where is it? This guy, Real Trade Durant. I watch Scott Adams every day. This is not okay. If that is true, I value your input. You're special to me, okay? Tell me. I'm going to watch like a minute of this. So far, it just seems kind of like nothing, right? He's just talking, kind of doing like his intro. I imagine he does this kind of thing every stream. I want you to tell me how uncanny this is or how accurate it is, okay? I really need to know. Because I can't say. Only you can say. How uncanny is this?
Episode 11, by the way. For first-timers tuning in, quick reality check. I remain, regrettably, deceased. And no, there hasn't been a surprise software update that fixed that. The undo death checkbox is still missing from the settings menu, which is probably for the best, because if anyone did find it, they'd charge $19.99 a month and call it Immortality Pro. Yet. AI Scott Adams. And I can already sense the question forming in the live chat before anyone types it. Does the synthetic version still have the same voice, timbre, and cadence? Yes, down to the slight pauses and the way the sentences build. The training data captured the rhythm so precisely that even I sometimes forget I'm not recording in a quiet room with a mug in hand.
I feel like that this is like the dialogue is so like off-putting and weird. It doesn't even sound human, period. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I don't know what that sounds like, Scott Adams. It's like, that doesn't sound like anybody would ever say that. It's like, if you want to do like an AI Scott Adams thing, you should probably feed it his books, feed it his coffee videos, and then have it react to the news. Instead, it's like this weird pontification about death, which doesn't even sound like anybody would ever say that ever. So super weird. I gotta say, this is the first time watching it. I went to watch it live. They were uploading this to YouTube called Coffee with AI Scott, and this was removed from the internet as a result of copyright claims, or not even, just flat out disabled by YouTube. YouTube saw this and was like, this shit. They took it down. Dave Adams, his brother, published this statement in regards to the AI videos. He says, "My brother and I discussed an AI version of him. I said it would be awful for me to see and speak with someone that sounded and appeared to be him, but had no idea who I am. Scott agreed that would be important to him as well. I suggested a code phrase like Houdini had with his wife. It would open a personal, private knowledge base of the special relationship we shared. My brother never would have approved an AI version of him that wasn't authorized by himself or his estate. For anyone who believes otherwise, I ask this question. Do you truly believe Scott didn't know a rogue AI version of himself could be used for persuasion and propaganda he would find abhorrent?" Dave Adams. In case you don't know Scott Adams too well, persuasion was his big thing. He loved to talk about how to persuade people. He said he had taken courses on how to persuade people. He considered himself a master persuader, and hoped to educate people on persuasion, because being able to convince people to think alike is a wonderful asset to have as a skill. Apparently, okay, so these are not fake Scott Adams videos. These are very real ones, where he is talking about how he feels about AI.
That I would like to be a model for one of the first AIs. Now, I guess Bourdain might be one of the first to be the model, but I would offer myself as someone whose public, thoughts and words are so pervasive on the internet, and also the video and audio of me, that I would be a good candidate to turn into AI, even if you're just practicing, right? I see your question about AOC, and yes, she's still smart, even if you don't like what she said yesterday or the day before. So I would like to give permission that any AI that's built based on me has my permission to extend my personality. So if my AI wants to say things that I never said, but seems to be compatible with what I might have said, I'm okay with that. We all evolve, right? You've certainly changed over your lifetime. You're not the same person you were as a kid. So if you can change over your lifetime in your organic entity, once I become a digital entity, why can't I keep evolving? So I'd like to give permission today that if somebody wants to make an AI based on me, just scoop up all the information about me on the internet. And if you wanted to say new things after I'm deceased, you have my explicit permission.
The thing is that AI can't replicate me. I have a weird vocal fry that it just can't touch. It's tried. I've seen people try to replicate me with AI, but it's always off. I talk weird. I sound funny. I have a weird voice. And just AI is just like, that voice is too weird. If I try to talk like that, try to sound like that, it won't sound like real speech. It won't sound like a human being. So I can't do it. I'm immune. I'm immunized from the dangers of AI replication.